online viewers for this special edition. Now, normally we do this on Thursday. To be perfectly honest, I've got a thing I've got to do in Atlanta Friday morning.
Yeah.
So I have to leave tomorrow afternoon, and that's why we bumped everything up. And this one tonight is going to be a little bit different than what we normally do because we're going to get into something here tonight that affects every single fan of every single program in South Georgia and really across the state.
Yep.
And, well, first off, Bryce Young, welcome.
Welcome.
You good?
No. Yeah.
Brian Davis, right here, who's not ketoing anymore.
No. Doctor said
Just for now.
Doctor said pump the brakes on it. We got some things we got to work on.
Man, I think he told him he was sick, so they would tell him to stop doing all this.
You know how much weight I lost? 18 pounds.
What?
That is great, man.
Yeah.
Good, great. Man, you didn't need to lose there 18 pounds. Hey, Lakeisha S. are watching.
But I found it thanks to my friends at Dairy Queen.
Here we go.
Yeah.
DQ. We'll talk about that in a minute. Jamie Mader's over here to your left. How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Good.
I'm so glad to be back.
Yeah, and the tech master back there trying to swallow his bite of Blizzard back there, Casey Master. How you doing?
Yeah.
We're going to talk to Coach Cy Jones, our baseball coach from Central, later on. We got Coach Rogers. He'll be calling in about 7:45 or so. We're going to talk to him about the incredible amount of offers that are coming into our program for our guys. Nothing like this ever in the history of our program. Not even close. And we're going to talk about the different sports that are going on. Basketball is going on. We got soccer that's about to kick off. No pun intended. We've got wrestling going on, kind of winding their stuff down. Tennis has started. You've got basketball. There's a lot going on.
Yep.
But the first thing I want to do here tonight is wish happy birthday to the one, the only Papa D.
Happy birthday, Pop.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to the.
That's awesome.
It is not often that you get to be friends or know somebody who has a highway named after them.
Yeah.
Just saying. And I don't know that I know of anybody who's above ground
Got something.
who's got a highway named after him.
I think he made a comment to you or something. Hey, Rambo ain't supposed to happen until I pass.
Yeah, well, I'm one of those that wants to give folks their flowers while they can smell them.
Absolutely.
And do it in honor of instead of in memory of. And that was kind of the thought process.
Yep.
Of course, Papa D and I go way back. You want me to tell them the devil story?
Oh yeah, that's y'all know how Randy's with the rant and rave getting bashed pretty hard now.
Well, and it's every time you change your Facebook picture at least 3 times that picture every year, so people
Before
are like,
you do the
people
story,
see
though,
it.
Let's get Greg Davis a shout out with DQ in honor of Valentine's Day. We've hit the Cupid special here with the
Red Velvet
cake Blizzard, which I hope everybody likes.
Well, festive.
I'm a big fan.
What's
Yeah, it's
different?
So
I was.
I'm with Bryce. Bryce said, "You mean red chocolate?" But this doesn't taste like chocolate. I mean, this has a different type of flavor.
it's
to it.
really good.
Just the cake part is the chocolate, and the rest of it is
That's
really
good.
But
It's
I
smooth.
thank them up there for sponsoring us.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Greg and the gang doing a great job making sure we put on those extra pounds. And Greg, we appreciate it, buddy.
Absolutely. Yeah, ruining all those New Year's resolutions that everybody got.
And
started.
they also got a regular Cupid cake you can get up there.
Not
too.
a regular
wow.
Cupid cake.
So
What
if
does that entail?
You want to take care of your sweetheart on Thanksgiving, get her a Cupid cake.
Wait. I don't know. I'm glad he got back on the track there.
Brian, you gonna get me one?
Yeah, you gotta wait till Thanksgiving though.
But anyway, just
Oh man.
Well,
I'll hush.
let me share this story real quick
Yes.
for those of you who've never heard it. Those of you who know me know I've been writing a column for the newspaper for the last 30 years every week, and there's a photograph that accompanies that column every week. Well, many moons ago, they change. Of course, you grow older and you change the way you look, And anyway, they got a different picture of me, and I was wearing a like a black turtleneck or something. I don't even know. Mark Lastinger took the dang picture.
Was that the one that was in front of the fireplace looking thing?
Kind of, I guess, maybe,
Okay,
I don't know. But anyway, the rant and rave that Jamie's talking about used to be, I call it the Jerry Springer section of the newspaper, because you could call in and pretty much say anything.
And not put your name on it.
No, yeah, very anonymous. And of course, I'm not afraid of talking about things that can be controversial. I mean, I'm not.
What?
I don't have a real good, especially when it's stuff that you can learn from. Anyway, long story short, they changed my picture, and somebody called the rant and rave and said Randy Young new picture looks like the devil. And they printed it. Well, that particular day, I did not see the newspaper. And I'm in my classroom, and the intercom thing comes on, and it's Pop. And as Jamie says, he calls me Rambo. He's always called me Rambo, and I think it's the physique. It's got to be the physique.
Absolutely.
Got to be.
Absolutely.
You good, Brian?
Kind of Stallone-ish.
Keep on.
That's it.
Yeah, we agree. We agree.
No,
we
no,
agree.
no keto. No keto.
Yeah.
But
Maybe his chin. Anyway.
Bandito.
I have 2 eyes, 2 ears, nose. But anyway, intercom comes on, and he says, Rambo, what you doing in there? And I said, well, I'm teaching, Pop. And he said, get somebody to sit in your class and come on up here to my office. Now, I'm going to tell you something now. It's one thing when a student gets called to the office, but when a teacher gets called to the office,
It's probably not good.
no, I'm racking my brain about, what in the world? So I get Gail Stewart, who was teaching home ec across the hallway. I said, Pop's called me to the office. I don't know what's going on. Can you sit with my class? Yeah, so she sits in there. I walk up there. He said, Rambo, take a seat. So, I mean, again, it's just like he's talking to a student. Of course, he was my principal, too, or assistant principal when I was in high school. So I sit down and said, Pop, what's going on? He said, Rambo, he said, you seen today's newspaper? I said, no, sir. He said, well, somebody in there has written a rant and rave and said, you look like the devil. And, Lord knows, I mean, they wrote one time about my mom and put it in there. Randy Young's mom can't be proud of him.
Wow.
They printed it.
I can't believe Marcus called in and said that.
But anyway, I said, Pop, look, I said, I don't have any control over what that dadgum thing says. And he said, no. He said, I'm not calling you down here to get on to you. He said, I'm calling down here to ease your mind. He said, because whoever called that in does not know the Bible and therefore cannot know about the devil. I said, Pop, what do you mean? He said, well, in the Bible, it states that the devil will come back as the most beautiful amongst us, and that clearly ain't you.
And there you have it.
I didn't know whether to punch him, hit him, hug him.
Well,
But anyway, that was his way of reassuring me. He probably waited 60 years to use that line.
and that's the rest of the story.
Yeah, but anyway, that's Papa D in a nutshell. Well,
Oh, you know what? He could have called in and got that posted just so he could use that line.
Absolutely.
I never thought about
Put that
that.
the next day.
Yeah.
I never
He
thought
said,
about
I'm going
that.
to get him now.
He said, hey, it worked.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never thought about that. But you just don't find a better man. As good as it gets, and the influence he has had on Thomas. Thomas County is not Thomas County without Frank Delaney.
That's exactly right.
Period. End of story.
I mean, not even close.
Nope.
Yeah, that's right.
Nope.
His footprint will
Oh man,
live on. It's unbelievable what he's been able to do in our system.
that is the true beauty of being a teacher.
Absolutely.
Is those types of lessons that you get from the ones that are good, they don't go away.
That's right.
They are handed down.
I
handed
got a
down.
question. You mean that picture? Is it
No,
that one,
it's not that one.
or is it
No.
the one in the blue suit? Which one
It's
is it?
not
I'm
that one.
sure.
I don't.
There was one I remember seeing of you that had like a turtle, and you were like in front of like a fireplace bookcase thing.
Really?
Yeah.
Did the thing look like the devil?
It wasn't pretty.
Well, it didn't look like the devil.
I want to mention some comments. We got Earl Brooks on here. Yes, sir. The county.
Yes.
Absolutely. And big caps.
Yep. And everybody
I
wishing.
think Kevin is.
Kevin's watching. Hey,
even
here's the
commented
upside.
on here.
Mom and Cal are watching from the first time from Jack in Thomasville.
Absolutely.
Instead of
Yeah.
Jasper. Yeah,
Yep.
that's awesome. That's
When we
awesome.
Kevin said
ended
that-
Swarmcast, Cal was not home yet, and he is home.
That is
today.
awesome.
That's
That's,
awesome.
that's Casey's
After-
brother who had open heart surgery
Katie,
months ago.
and
83
Casey's
days in the
favorite cake.
hospital.
Wow.
It's
Is
real
red velvet?
velvet.
Is that your
It
favorite cake?
It
Okay,
is.
well, I'll be doggone. That's cool. So let's jump into this discussion about the numbers that are in play.
Well, how do you? We kind of need to frame this.
Okay.
If we can.
Well, let me say this. I've heard talk about this particular topic for years, but the reality of it did not really kick in, for me at least, until we visited Langston Hughes back in November. And we had an opportunity to talk to folks who are inside that school, who have kids inside that school, folks that live in that area. And in the subsequent weeks, I've been able to reach out to folks who live up there, other friends and other people who have worked in the schools and know about it. And the story is very consistent. And let me say real quick, and this needs to be said as plainly as it can be said. This is not a discussion to accuse anybody of any wrongdoing.
Nope.
It is not. In
It's
fact,
just the way it is.
In fact, I think by the time we get to the end of this, you'll be doing what we did, where we went, oh, really? Okay. And I want to say too, there are a lot of folks that want to throw rocks at the Georgia High School Association about this. I have been as critical as anybody over the years of the Georgia High School Association because the perception down here is that everything that is done in the interest of the schools in the North, with particular emphasis on the metro schools, the Atlanta schools. And I'm not going to say that that's not
100%.
well, the perception's reality. If we walk
Absolutely.
out here and Bryce perceives that the sky is green, well, for him,
It is.
the sky's green because that's different. But you know what I'm saying? Perception is reality.
Well, my thing in framing it is the frame of mind you need to be in when you think rural versus metropolitan.
Yep. Well, I want to say,
however you want to put it.
I want to say, I offer up an apology to my friend Robin Hines, because Robin has heard a lot of the criticism from me over the years, and all those folks that are part of the legislative body for the GHSA. With this issue, they have been trying. They are trying to and the Georgia High School Association, people need to understand their job is not to make things equal. You're not going to make things equal. You can go program to program down here, and things aren't equal. Some folks have got better coaches, some have got better facilities, some have got better communities. I mean, things are not going to be equal. Their job is to try to make the playing field as level as it can be.
Competitive.
As the competitive balance thing. So, and there is no question in my mind, although I didn't really get it, they have been trying to do this. Here's what I want you to here's how I want you to think about this before we jump into the numbers here and play. And this is the way I shared with you, and I think I shared with you.
Mm-hmm.
If you need to stock your kitchen, if you need to get groceries, okay, and the grocery store that's available to you has 4 rows of groceries. They got 3 different types of cereal, maybe 5 different types of soup.
Let's say the Dollar General.
I'm not going there. But
Okay.
but kind of the same thing. They don't have fresh meat. They don't have vegetables. Now you can stock your kitchen, and your line was
You'll be full, but it won't be what you want.
You're not going to go hungry.
Yeah.
You're not going to go hungry.
Right. You'll make it.
Yeah.
You can stock your kitchen, but because that's what they've got.
Right.
You sometimes you have to just take what you can get there.
That's right. That's right.
But now if you go into a grocery store that has 100 rows of groceries,
Costco, Sam's,
Walmart, or I mean, now all of a sudden
It's different.
you've got 100 different types of cereal. You've got deli. You got fresh meat. You got fresh vegetable. I mean, the selection is so much more vast. Now you can get pretty particular about what you need to stock your kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're in a spot where there's 20 stores like that, well, again, you just got a lot to choose from there. Just because of the volume involved. So think about that when we're having this discussion. We were told when we were at Langston Hughes by folks there in the system that if you stand in the parking lot of Langston Hughes High School and draw a 5-mile circle around you, there are 3 other high schools inside that 5-mile circle. Okay? Each one of those schools has at least 1,300 kids. So you're talking around, and Langston Hughes, by the way, has 2,600 kids. Their enrollment's 2,600. That's about 6,500 kids in a 5-mile circle. Well, if you go to 10 miles, which geographically, if you're standing in front of the courthouse downtown, standing on Broad Street, 10-mile circle will get you to the Grady County line. That'll get you to Oclockney, close to Boston, close to Coolidge. Won't get you to Meigs, won't get you to Pavo, get you to Metcalf. But that's a visual of a 10-mile circle. That number goes to around 12,000 students. Here's where the numbers involved for our programs down here become hard to process. You would have to take Bainbridge High School, Cairo High School, Mitchell County High School, Pelham High School, Thomasville High School, Thomas County Central, Brooks County High School, Colquitt County, Valdosta, and Lowndes County combined to approximate those numbers. Let that sit in. Let that sit in. You're talking every public high school in a 7-county stretch, and not just any high schools now. If you're talking about like athletics, you're talking, I mean, that's the heart of the South Georgia athletic world right there.
That's right.
Every public high school in a 7-county stretch to approximate the numbers in that one 10-mile circle, of which there are dozens.
And that's just a county.
And here's the other. That's where I was headed.
Yep.
Those 12,000 students are all in the Fulton County school system. Did y'all know that Langston Hughes and Milton are both in the Fulton County school system? They're both in the same school system.
Just because we found that out when we went up there. But yeah.
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I sure didn't know it.
And the other thing that you brought up this week when we were talking about it is I think that is the fourth.
Yes, that's where I was headed.
Biggest.
Well, the Fulton County school system has 90,000 students. As a comparison, I think Thomas County has around 6,500, 7-ish, something like that.
What's the largest county in the state of Georgia?
Well, hold on. Here we're heading there.
Yeah.
Fulton with 90,000 students. Cobb County has more. DeKalb County has more. Is this Coach Jones?
Yes, Coach Jones.
And Gwinnett.
Gwinnett has 190,000.
Oh, never mind. I'm wrong.
Second off.
Think about that, though. The numbers, we can't relate. And
Yep.
we'll come back to the discussion, but just keep that in your heart. Just keep that in your mind.
Yep.
Coach Jones.
Hey, how's it going, fellas?
Good, man. How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Just
Man.
trying to wrap up a great day of baseball practice. How are
Good.
you guys tonight?
We're good, man. We are glad to be in here talking to you, and we're thrilled. First off, welcome to Thomas County. I know I've already told you that, but thrilled to have you here.
Yes, sir. I feel it. I feel that every single day. And thanks for having us here. And we've already made this place our home. So
That's
thanks so much for that.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And you guys got started yesterday, is that correct?
Yeah, got started. Had a good night over at Childs in Tallahassee. Played a fantastic Childs team, very strong. Played 9 innings and ultimately this lost 6-4, but played a 9-inning game and got a lot of people in the game and felt like that just so many good things happened in terms of able to pitch 9 good innings and swing the bats well against some excellent pitching. I mean, just with the pushback date to the 27th this year, trying to rush into tryouts on the 27th and a scrimmage on what was the 4th. That was the ultimate challenge. And then to face a top-notch opponent, I think that the boys did very well and represented our school well. And I'm very excited after last night.
Yeah, listen, Childs is one of the traditional powers down there baseball-wise. Now, they're normally really good.
Yeah, I was talking to Coach Hewitt before the game, and Florida bumped up their start time to January 7th. So they had a little bit of a head start on us. So, like I said, I thought we competed well. The boys, Reed Gaines had a home run. Dallas Pitts was lights out the first 2 innings. Just had several relay plays at the plate that we were able to complete. Some great plays in the outfield. Matthew Anuez robbed a home run, and just 9th and 10th graders getting out there and scared to death and coming through in some big moments. And it was a fun night to be a Jacket and really learned a lot about our squad.
That's cool.
That's what I was going to ask you, Coach. I'm Jamie Majors, and I hadn't really had a chance to meet you yet, but I'm looking forward to it.
Yes, sir.
I love I love Thomas County sports. I try to support all of them. I love all our coaches and what all y'all do to teach and coach and be a father figure for a lot of players. But I guess after last night, it kind of gives you kind of maybe an odometer or to where you're kind of at and where you need to kind of work.
That's right. And we had a leadoff dinner on Monday, and I addressed the room then that I thought that, we were right where we needed to be despite the challenges or not the challenges, but I should better phrase it as the opportunities to make alternative practice plans with our hitting facility that's being built. That's going to be the best hitting facility in the state of Georgia. And we've taken every opportunity to be creative with our practice scheduling and the facilities that are in use right now. And when we get in that big house, it's going to just make everything that much easier for us. And the kids have learned to adapt, which is a big part of baseball, and being able to adjust on the fly. And like you mentioned, just building young men, that's something that we as men do every single day. So I think it all ties in together. And I think last night just I think it kind of excited the fan base that was over there to see, how our kids were able to stay calm throughout the game despite playing an opponent that was obviously very strong and very well prepared. We didn't miss a beat, never blinked, and look forward to seeing how that opportunity prepares us for next Monday night over at that school in Red.
Well, tell us about your
Absolutely.
team.
I love that.
Tell us about your team. Who are your leaders, and who are you looking to step forward to?
Well, we got a
Bellcast?
wonderful junior class. It's a lot like other sports where the junior class has some real standout talent. Our senior class is small in that it's only got 3 members, but one of those is preseason All-State shortstop Braden Payne, 4-year starter for us. Really excited about what Brady can do at the top of the lineup. He'll be a guy that can come in on the mound when we need him to, but also just be a guy that's steady at shortstop as you could ever want. Just make the routine play and talented enough to make the special play too at the plate. He can bat anywhere from 1 to 5. He's a base stealing threat. Anytime he gets on, runs extremely well. And then you got a junior class that's headed up by Reed Gaines, Nolan Taylor, Zach Williams. Those guys that have been, got a lot of playing time since their sophomore year. Some sophomores are Don McCann and Hudson Williams should contribute this year. And then Nolan's little brother, Landon Taylor, as a freshman that could help us behind the plate some based on who's on the mound. And again, like I said, Dallas Pitt started the game for us last night and threw 16 pitches in 2 innings in his quick night of work. So we're excited about the arms that we have. Landon Walsh, Braden Griffin, Hudson will pitch some for us. So we feel like that we have a plan going into the first 10 non-region games of getting these guys built up to around 85 pitches or so, and with a huge emphasis on arm care, so that when we do, get ready to go in the playoffs, we can make a deep run and be healthy. Because a lot of times in the playoffs, the best ability is availability, and that's what we're trying to work on right now. So
that's awesome, Brian.
Coach, that's Brian Davis.
Hey, Brian.
Hey, you and I we hadn't had a chance to meet yet, but until last year, I was able to have the ability to be at just about every junior varsity and varsity baseball game because I ran the scoreboard till I moved to Tallahassee, and so I've had a good follow on the program since I've worked for the school system for the last 8 years. Looking back at what we've done and what has been built, and now what you have come in and implemented, where do you see the program heading as you talk about the facilities and you talk about the kids? I like what you've done and come in and done. I think you've done a fantastic job of bringing all the boys together and bringing the community together. And I love the fact that you had a lead-off dinner to be able to try to welcome the community again and show that, hey, the Yellow Jackets are here and we got to support our guys. And I just kind of give me just a rough guess of where your vision is as far as where you want to see us at the end of this season.
Well, obviously we mirror both the basketball and the football region in terms of strength of schedule. Right. It's as heavy as you could ask for, but our goal every single year will be to win the region championship, and we don't feel like talent level or facilities or coaching or administratively or any of that we have anything preventing us from doing that. Of course, it takes play on the field to make that happen. Sure. And other guys get paid and practice too. So there's always that to remember. Sometimes we are slow to give our opponents credit, and we feel like that we're the blame for all our losses, but that's why we practice every day, and that's why we're in front of the kids every day. But our goal will be, we'll start simple. Our goal will be to win the opener, and that's always the goal, regardless of who we play. Sure. And then we want to win a region championship. Obviously, we'd like to host the playoffs, so that gives us some wiggle room. We like to set goals that are attainable, but that if for some reason one goal falls short, there's not a domino effect to where you can't accomplish any of the other ones. So,
right.
But we'll try to win that region championship, and if that goal isn't met immediately, then we roll right into hosting a playoff series and winning a playoff series, and And ultimately, a state championship is what we're working for every single year. We'll come in on Sunday, which is rare, with the Monday opening night, and we'll have a quick run through. And I always end it the last practice before the season opener. We'll get the team out there, all 18, and we'll strike out the last batter for the region championship, and we'll dog pile, and it'll be put in our memory bank. And then when we get to that day in late April, then it'll be something that we've already done before. We'll have seen it. And so that's kind of where we want to take the program. Like you said, I took over a program that's used to fighting for those region championships and been right there on the cuff here the last few years, and obviously advanced to the Elite Eight several times in the last decade. So we're not making any excuses about what our expectations are. We're going to be bold and say what we want. And it's more importantly than what we want to do is who we want to do it with.
Sure.
And that's
Right.
the locker room. And that's what I'm trying to implement on them is I had the wonderful fortune as a high school junior winning a state championship at Perry High School. And I just turned 50 years old. And I can tell you, when I ride through Perry or visit our old church in Perry and see the right fielder, we talk about that day ever how many years ago.
Yeah.
Those are the memories that Thomas County kids, especially our football kids, they know exactly what I'm talking about. Those memories never die. And as when you get into coaching, it's less about, your name anywhere on the program, and it's more about just the earnest desire for your kids to feel that feeling that you felt as a player or as a coach so many years ago.
Making lifelong memories. I mean, really, that's what high school's about, really, when you got right down to it. Jamie, you got something else?
Well, Coach Si, I know this is kind of I ain't trying to throw nothing on you.
Oh, here we go.
But I just wanted to ask you what your feelings were as far as athletes playing multiple sports. And I didn't know if you was a big fan of that or what your outlook on it was. I know in the past it hadn't been a big welcome thing, of sharing athletes and
different
stuff
views
like
of
that.
But sure.
Just different views. So I just want to see what yours.
I am a proud member of the all-decade 1990s team at Perry High School as an old defensive tackle. So I would, with my playing days on the football field, my dad was the defensive coordinator and head baseball coach for 30 years.
Okay.
Several places. So football has always been a big, until I got into at Coffee and 6A ball, and basically we're still 6A, however you want to say it. But
that's right.
At Central, my football coaching days came to an end, and it seems like I get a lot more play calls right from the stands than I ever did. I kind of like where I'm at now in terms of my football coaching ability. I really am surprised that I haven't got any college offers. I'm sure they're coming. And I have a great friend, Seth Boyette, that coaches football with us here. Was actually conduit for me getting in touch with Coach Duplantis about the opportunity here. We coached football together, and Seth was joking with Coach Rogers. They were, just kind of giving some character background, and Seth said, well, he's a heck of a football coach. And Rogers like, get him out. Let's hire him then. I don't think Dr. Williams was going for that. So, but no, to answer the original question, man, I would highly encourage kids, especially our middle school kids, to play what you love playing. I think it's hard to just throw out a blanket statement and say, hey, you need to be playing multiple sports, because our coaching has elevated to the point where the training that goes into it, if you don't love that sport, it's going to be tough for you to succeed with the level of coaching that we have in the county, because these men are passionate, they're knowledgeable, and they're going to expect you to do things that you're not going to want to do unless you have a passion and a love for that sport.
That's right.
And if you do, then I am fully on board with, playing whatever you want to play, because so few of us get to play at the next level, and certainly hardly any of us get to play professionally. So it's almost like you should play as much as you can in middle and high school, because that might be the last ball that you ever get to play.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I love Frank Delaney's line about it. And Papa D has always said there's no such thing as a kid being too involved at school.
that's very much so.
And that is the truth, because
Yeah.
the more that kid is involved, the more he's got something to occupy his time, and the more buy-in he has for caring about that school, and eventually the community is a part of. Yep.
That's right.
Coach,
That's right.
listen, man, I want to say this real quick, and we're going to let you go, and I appreciate you calling in more than anything. And I'm going to get you to call
Absolutely.
next week, too, now, so we can kind of catch up with what.
2 weeks.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, or 2 weeks. It'll be 2 weeks. We'll do one of these 2 weeks. It is rare when a coach moves in, a new coach, that you don't hear anything negative. There's always somebody, some parent, some kid, somebody's like, well, so and so, blah, blah, blah. I have not heard a peep negative
All right.
regarding you.
Well,
And I'm going to tell you something. That's high content to be walking in, Coach, and that's a compliment to you.
Well, apparently you walk around with your hands over your ears a lot, so please continue to do that. And, especially as we get deep into this baseball season, Randy. I appreciate y'all having me on. I watched the Swarmcast every week during the football season. I loved it. I thought it was the coolest thing ever. Had you guys on the big screen at home on YouTube, and
Ooh, Lord. Don't do
Yeah,
that.
man.
That's a good way to break a TV.
I was going to say.
Is it true about the big screen TV puts on a couple 100 pounds?
Well, I know one thing. There's folks in the county that are offering to pay us because it keeps all the roaches out of the house whenever they do that. I'm just saying.
I didn't need to hear that.
Well,
Man.
I tell you, like I said, there's nothing like passion and working with people that have passion, and when you guys have the passion that you do, it spills over into the staffs of these athletic programs, and which ultimately benefits our kids. So thank you guys for what you do.
Absolutely, Coach. Listen, we'll talk to you in 2 weeks, man. Thank you so much for calling in, and
Yes,
good
sir,
luck.
Mr. Randy.
We'll check in with you.
All right, thank y'all.
Yes,
Good
sir.
to talk to
Thanks,
y'all.
Coach.
Yes, sir.
Bye-bye.
That's a good fella right there.
Man, that's pretty awesome.
That's
man.
good stuff.
And before he came in, he led Coffee County to their most successful season they've ever had. He's got a really, really good resume when he came in. I'm excited to see what he's going to do.
I am too, man.
Before we get any further, thanks to Dairy Queen.
Dairy Queen,
Dairy Queen.
Greg.
Red Velvet Blizzard. Yep, it's good stuff. Okay, so real quick, back to what we were talking about with the numbers, because there's some things I think that need to be said. We cannot, down here in this neck of the woods, folks, we cannot use the schools in the metro area specifically as the measurement of success and failure for what we're doing down here, because this is not apples and oranges, folks. When you know that a 10-mile circle, one 10-mile circle has as many high school students in it as all 7 of our counties combined.
That's hard to fathom.
That's hard to wrap your brain around, but that's the reality in play. And that's not Gwinnett, who has more than twice as many kids as Fulton.
Yeah.
So it is literally blueberries and watermelons. But here's the deal, and this needs to be said. So the question is, what do? You build your program on the foundation of the families and the legacy here, that those programs, by the nature of, there's so much movement.
Yeah.
It's so in flux,
Yeah.
because you've got people moving in and out. Think about this. Here's the other part. Of the 4 schools is that Coach Rogers? Well, heck. All right. Well, let's talk to Coach Justin Rogers. Justin Rogers.
Yes, sir.
How you doing, man?
Good. How about y'all?
We're hanging in like a hair in a biscuit, man.
We got us a 2 for tonight.
Yes, sir. We just got off the phone with Coach Cy talking baseball.
Cy Jones, man. Heck yeah, man. He's a great guy.
He's talking about his football coaching prowess a little bit there too. Now he's sound like he's
Hey,
got some,
now. Hey, if he feels froggy, jump, man.
Well, first off, how you doing, man? Things good for you?
Yes, sir. Doing good. Everything's going great. Kids working hard.
Well, now, and we were going to get in this in a little while. It is, I don't even know what to say, Coach. I mean, Joe Burns and I have talked about this, and a lot of the old school guys. We've had years where we've had a couple of guys that were getting some D1 offers. This is insane. Over 100 offers total, 40 college coaches that have visited in the month of January alone. I think it's 13 total guys. There's a look at all the schools, or some of them we put up on the screen there for folks to look at with a graphic that Chris White did. Coach, this is just, and I know you just have to be so proud.
No, obviously, you always want the best for all your kids, for sure. And right now, we're hitting the trifecta,
Yeah.
and the first thing, be a successful program. I mean, colleges love to recruit from successful programs. But the next thing, have length and size or length and speed. But you got to have length either way. And we've got a lot of kids that meet that criteria. And the fact they're part of a successful football, and so they're playing at a high level against high level. They've got good length, they've got good height, and they either got good height with size and big, like a Artem or a Cooper, or they've got good height and length and have good speed. Where it comes to a lot of those defensive players and offensive players.
Kind of like JB and Dunbar.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. And they made the most of their opportunities this year to put a good film together. And so when coaches are coming in and being able to see them in person, they're passing that physical trait test that they're looking for. Is this guy going to be able to match the size and speed that we want?
Right. It's just as impressive as it can be, and I congratulate you. But I want to throw a little some flowers to Coach Atkins.
No, Coach, yeah, no doubt.
Unbelievable.
I mean, Coach Atkins, yeah, I've always kind of been that way. Like I like to have a recruiting coordinator, a guy that kind of takes the lead when guys come in the building. I like to be in the weight room. Ain't no need for me to lie. I like to be in the weight room. I like to be with my guys. And when they come in, sometimes you're just constantly getting pulled. And so Coach Atkins is kind of taking the lead on that. And it's really just taking ownership of it. You know what I mean? Taking pride in it.
Yep.
Not just doing a task, but truly, owning it.
Elite.
Yes, owning it.
Yep.
And so Coach Atkins done a great job. And he's a great guy. He's a great running backs coach.
Oh, yeah.
And just a really up and comer in our profession.
Yep. So tell us what you guys are doing now. What's going on in the off season now that we start heading toward our spring game in
Yeah, we're a month in. We're a month in right now. Kids have had a great January. So January and February is really big into our bulking phase. I mean, we're trying to put our winter coat on, and so we're trying to get as big as we can possibly get, and that'll pretty much run us all the way up until spring break. We're just trying to add. Just how much weight can we put on, because the summer's going to take it off. So you're trying to get above the number you want to play at, because you're going to lose a little bit as the summer comes. So we're in a bulking phase right now with the way that we're working out and the lifts we're doing. Still maintaining our agility and our linear speed. So we're still doing those things to stay fast and be able to move. Don't get me wrong, but we want to do it with size.
Right. Well, and Coach, too, now, when you think about the guys that you've got, has anybody thus far stood out and kind of impressed you, that you maybe surprised you a little bit? I know it's coming off the wall, but just curious.
Yeah, anybody individual. I mean, one right now is jumps out, just Prince Che. He's a freshman D lineman. He has put on just so much weight. Like his size is so much bigger.
Yeah.
And so I'm really, he jumps out at me right now as an outlier that nobody kind of knows and see what he has. But
well, let me share this with you, Coach. And not to interrupt you, but I want to say this. I was in there with you day before yesterday, and I was in the locker room when those freshman guys were working. I cannot tell you how impressed I was by that group of kids, that freshman class.
They're a good group. They're a good group. They're a very talented group. They've been a successful group. And so they understand and expect to win. So they have that swagger about them. But they're a bunch of good kids too. And you can tell it's a tight-knit group. That freshman group, it really enjoys each other.
Yep. Jamie, you got something?
Nope. I was just going to comment on, I've been here a long time, Coach. I've spent a lot of years at that football.
Hey, we finally got you a jacket too, brother.
Man, it's so awesome. And thank you so much, man.
He's ready for the season.
Nice. I mean, I got it, and it's turned hot.
Yeah, I know,
anyway,
right?
Hey, I love it, and thank y'all so much.
At least it's short sleeve.
It looks good in it too now.
Man, it's nice, and I do appreciate that. But Coach, I've been here a lot of years. Been to a lot of practice. I've never seen anything as far as the college involvement with our program. It's never been like this.
And I'll go you one further, Jamie. the buy-in from the kids.
Yep.
The buy-in from the kids. Now listen,
It's different.
I didn't think that we could equal or surpass what we did back in the 90s, Coach, but we are knocking on that door.
Yeah,
and it is just such a joy.
Yeah, those are kind words, and I'm thankful for that. Those bouquet of roses, but the 90s was something other else. I mean, that's something this whole state ain't been able to do.
But I can tell you, Coach, the feeling of this is very similar.
Proud.
Yep.
Yeah, very proud of where we're at and the direction we're headed, especially in the short amount of time we've been able to kind of get it flipped. And so you do feel that, in our program right now with all our kids from our 9th grade to obviously up to our juniors that are about to be seniors, just the level of commitment and the expectation, because now they understand what the expectation is, and that's elite. There is no average. You get average out your mouth, okay? You play at Central, and we talked about this just the other day. You play at Central and you get on the field, then you're talented.
Yep.
Like, that's a given.
Yep.
Like, that's like, no one could even say, hey, man, they sure are talented. No, that's a given. If you play for us, you're going to be talented. Now it's, are you skilled? Are you knowledgeable? Are you intelligent? Are you playing with great fundamentals? Like, that's the things now that we want to talk about. Talent's a given.
Right.
If you get on the field at Central, then you're a talented football player.
Well, Coach, I had one other thing I wanted to touch on a little bit. I know that I'm not trying to single nobody out or anything like that, but Jalen had a chance to go to, I guess, a
Senior Bowl,
Bowl type thing.
Correct.
And I just wanted to just touch base and see how that went.
No, it
I'm
went
so
great.
proud of Jalen, man, getting out there.
No, he's a winner now, and he's a competitor, and so Jalen went. There was a quarterback camp associated with the Senior Bowl, and it's an elite quarterback camp. So he got to go work with some of the best guys in the Southeast and go train for 3 days with them. And while he was there, obviously it was on South Alabama's campus. The Senior Bowl does a lot of practices there on South Alabama's campuses. And so as he was competing with all those other quarterbacks, obviously he left with a South Alabama offer as well. But Jalen, I'm telling y'all now, y'all seen Jalen, and what's his record right now? I can't remember. It's pretty good though.
20 something and 2.
Yeah, something.
Yeah, okay, 20 something and 2, and he's been really good. Mark my words, y'all ain't seen nothing yet.
Woo! Let me write that down.
Write it down, baby.
Coach,
write it down.
Special, man.
Jalen's special. He's got a fire in him right now. He's working so hard in the weight room. I'm telling y'all now, while he has been a great, great player, I really think you guys are going to see a whole nother monster open up in him, and he's gonna take another. He's been on a rise. He's about to take another rise, and I just believe that with all my heart, just to see it in his eyes, the way he works, the commitment he has, and you almost see since January a different kind of animal in him.
Well, his mannerisms and stuff are a lot like Charlie's, because
correct.
Charlie could lead, but he didn't have to say anything.
He didn't say
to
anything.
lead.
Yeah.
No, he's a close to the vest guy.
Crazy.
That's right.
But it was action.
Close.
Action, not
he
words.
keeps it close to the vest. He's not a major vocal guy, but I think he's going to be a more vocal guy this year. Though I think you're going to see that. But you're right. I mean, he has that. I'm gonna do it. Let my actions speak. Right.
Yep.
Which says a lot right there in this society anyway.
Right.
What an unbelievable trait for him to have. But I'm telling y'all, I got a great feeling on him right now. And again, you said the record. I mean, it's been crazy how good he's been now. To say he's going to take it to another level is that's big time. But I really do believe he will.
Brian?
Well, Coach, we talk about building monsters. In order to build monsters, you got to have stuff. And I know I always like to throw you this bone. Yellow Jackets looking to bring something to y'all. What can the community bring in this time of year to help y'all in that bulking process and get ready for spring?
Well, right now, I mean, we're in pretty good shape right now. What we're doing and just kind of status quo. What our fan base and everybody can do is just continue to support and love on these boys. We'll have our major fundraiser coming up right there with spring football. We do our text-a-thon, and that's the lifeblood of. I mean, that one fundraiser is the lifeblood of our organization. And so when we do that right, we're able to really go through and do all the things necessary, all the stuff we provide for them. And so, like I say, right now our kids are just killing the protein, killing eating, and they're doing great. But all that stuff costs money. I mean, all those things we do. We got a huge shipment in fact, today.
Good.
And so the text-a-thon will be the big thing, and when spring comes out. I got some exciting news about spring coming up. I ain't ready to unveil it now.
All right.
Why would you do us like that, man?
It ain't because it's a little teaser, man. It's a little teaser, right?
He knows how to play this game.
I'm gonna come hang around a little bit more.
Yeah, he knows how to play this game.
But we've got some things in the work. I've wanted to play a spring game. It's been a hard thing to find here. And I think I got something worked out that the fans get excited about, and the players will get excited about. Should hopefully by next Friday, maybe be able to release it.
Okay.
Still working out some details.
So
but
the next time we do this, we're going to talk about it.
cool.
2 weeks, we can talk
Good
about
shot.
it. Okay.
Yeah, no doubt.
Well, I was going to ask you too, Coach. I'm hearing these rumors about. We had a kid on our football team that loved Rome so much that he just committed to him. He just finally went up there and said he's just going to go there.
Rubo.
Yeah, he was very familiar with it, right? And so so while signing day was today, it started today. The signing period started today, and that's why I met with our seniors on Monday. And a couple of them wasn't quite ready or committed or like wanted to do their ceremony today. And that's why you didn't see us do a ceremony.
I got you.
And we've got one planned for next week. We've got a couple going on some visits. We'll probably have 3 signed next week. And we've got another 4 that probably will sign eventually, but still looking at all those options. But yeah, I feel pretty good that he committed and put it out there today, and he'll go to shorter. Awesome. And I'm going to tell you now, y'all know how I feel about Kendarius Reddick. I think D is an unbelievable player who's going out to USC. Jade Rubo may be the hardest one to replace.
100%.
Jade Rubo at that Mike linebacker position was just special.
And the intangibles.
He could play it.
And
the intangibles.
He was. And so while we have a lot to come back on defense, we have a huge void in replacing a Jaden Rubo. And so we've got our work cut out for us for him. And Shorter absolutely stole one.
They got him.
Yes, sir. They have stole it. And they will realize that once he gets on campus. He'll do a phenomenal job.
Casey Massey's got something to ask you.
I got a question, Coach. I saw some videos on Facebook today. Who is your best volleyball player?
None of them. They're awful. They're awful.
Well,
it's
saw them out there
crazy.
playing.
It's crazy how many serves went straight in the net.
Now, were you playing with the medicine ball?
Not this time. This time was legitimate volleyball. Hell, they wanted the medicine ball back. It was atrocious.
Coach Eli comes home and tells me, he said, Dad, we played volleyball today. And I was like, man, that's probably cool. He said, no, you don't understand. We played with a medicine ball, man.
Oh, yes. Now, that one's always blinking. That's something like we've started this back in, I was in Griffin probably 2011, 2012. We started these competitions, and so I do them every January and February, and we run through them, and they pretty much go in order. Like if you've played for me, you have done them in the order they're going, and I know what's coming up next week. And I put them in teams. They're on that team for the entire term, so they got to play with their team every week, and we name them by our core values: respect, trust, commitment, sacrifice, show up, whatever it takes, toughness, and discipline. And so they have their teams, and they have to compete, and so. I like to see who tries to compete, who is willing to compete on something that maybe they're not good at or something they've never played. Yep. But then on the flip side, don't get me wrong, it's fun. You got to have some fun in January and February. It's a big season. It's a long season. And if you don't take time to schedule in fun, then it just kind of wears on you. So we have fun with these days. I like to talk a little crap to them. And so we get it juiced up. We get it juiced up in there. But yeah, it's I'm not worried about our guys, deciding to focus on volleyball. I can assure you.
All right, Coach, listen, I'm not going to keep you, man. Thanks for calling as always, and we'll check in with you in 2 weeks, and we'll get some information on your teaser.
Love it, man. Go Jackets.
Sounds good, man. Thank you,
All right.
Coach.
Thank you, Coach.
See ya.
All right, man. That joker. God.
We have got some daggum coaches, don't we?
Yeah.
So full. I mean, if they just had some personality.
I mean, I just don't get it.
Okay, let
right.
me finish my thought where we were going. Let's go back to the numbers thing we were talking about. The original 5-mile circle that we were talking about with Langston Hughes and the 6,500 students that are in that 5-mile circle. You have 3 schools there that 15 years ago did not exist. I'm going to throw a question out here now, and if I've shared the answer with you, don't say it, because I want to see if anybody online can guess this. When was the last time a school was built in Southwest Georgia to accommodate a student population that otherwise had nowhere to be because of growth? Not a remodel, not a refurbish, but built because they had to build something because they had more kids than they knew what to
Just
do
had
with.
to expand.
There was nowhere to put them.
When or who?
When was it and who was it?
I couldn't tell.
I can take a stab at who. Are we to ask? Are we guessing to?
Yeah, sure.
I mean,
It wasn't us, was it?
Southwest Georgia.
Again, not a remodel, not a refurbish, but a
essentially-
creation of a school.
so to me, I'm thinking it instantly too. But I'm not thinking it was because they didn't have anywhere to go.
Who
because
are you saying?
You want me to tell you?
I'm
wasn't
instantly. I'm
They're
thinking
still
of
guessing.
Bainbridge and Valdosta.
Nope.
Instantly.
Nope.
Okay.
1980,
Okay.
Mitchell Baker High School.
Oh.
What?
Mm-hmm.
The one before that, 1978, Colquitt County, when they condensed all of their county schools. The one before that, Central High School, 1958.
58.
So in 70 years, there have been 3 schools in that 7-county area that we were talking about that have been built because they had to because of growth. In
That's
a
good stuff.
5-mile circle around Langston Hughes, 3 schools in the last 15 years, including Langston Hughes High School. And there's schools growing all the time.
And they don't start out as single A schools.
No, these are all big schools.
They fill them up to 6A right off the bat.
Yep. This is an issue here too, folks. Smaller schools are not affected by this because you don't see single A schools unless they're private schools around
That's
Atlanta
right.
or
And
double A
they've
schools.
took care of that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is a 4A to 6A issue. The growth that is involved here and the numbers population-wise, for us, it is hard to wrap our brain around.
Yeah.
To think about a school system with 190,000 students in it. What?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Now, but again, what do? You build on top of the legacy that you've got in these communities.
Yep.
Because here's the thing, because of the nature of the way I call them the factory schools. I mean, they literally, because there's just so much movement, they're having to assembly line manufacture their programs. Coach Boone told us he didn't know who was going to be on his roster till his summers because of all the movement. And not that anybody's doing anything illegal now.
And it's not movement just to the schools.
No.
It's movement for life in general, of
That's right.
jobs and things, because that's
Absolutely.
just the nature of
Well,
That's
Atlanta.
right.
It is so
Yeah.
big.
That's
Yeah.
right.
The impact is just different.
Again, it is blue, but those schools will never have what these schools here in our area have. When we walk into, and I'm not saying this is a slight against Langston Hughes. I don't
Or
mean
any
this.
of them.
No.
Any of them.
And I don't mean this as a slight. But because of the nature of all that movement and stuff, the legacy names that are a part of Thomas County, you could look at a 1975 football program. You're going to see Hopkins. You're going to see Waldens. You're going to see Brooks. You're going to see Majors. You're going to see Roddenberry's. I mean, these names have been in this county forever. This stuff is handed down from grandfather to father to son.
Absolutely.
Those programs don't have that.
That's right.
And that's why when you walk into a quarterfinal game between the number 3 and number 4 team in the state, the 2022 state champions and the 2023 state champions, and the home crowd has 300 people in it, and we go, how is that possible? It's because there's so much movement. That legacy buy-in, that community buy-in is just, it doesn't exist.
Yep.
Milton High School, which is now the standard of measurement for everybody, The seating capacity in their stadium is 4,000.
That's visitor and home.
That's everything.
Yeah.
Our home side seats 4,000 people. And you go look at videos, their stadium is never full.
Even the league game.
Right,
It was full, but it wasn't full.
It
Not
would
like it would have been if
Right.
we would have been playing Thomasville.
or if the game had been if we had played Milton down here,
Yeah, it would have been.
it would have been elbow to elbow.
Yeah, you wouldn't.
You'd have had people from K Road everywhere else coming over.
That's what I'm saying. And the bottom line here, folks, we need to appreciate and embrace that fact.
Absolutely.
That the legacy programs that Cairo, Thomasville, Bainbridge, I mean, all of these schools here.
Yep.
Those schools cannot and will not have. And I'm going to tell you something. I will take that every day over again the factory to win a ring.
Yeah.
Every single day, because now you got the band kids that have lifelong memories. Those broadcasting kids. I mean, the mamas and daddies and the cousins and the friends that are there to support the kids because of that legacy thing. That's what community is about.
Yep.
And that matters more than anything. Period. So our fans down here need to embrace that.
Yeah.
We need to embrace that. That is special. It is something that is unique. And I realize, 20 years ago, it was unusual to see a South Georgia team not playing for a state championship.
Yeah.
You had a Camden County or a Colquitt or a Central
Or Valdosta.
or Valdosta. I mean, it was unusual for that not to be the case. Well, now it's unusual for it to be the case because you've got so many more numbers. Again, you're talking 12,000 high school kids in a 10-mile circle. We don't have 12,000 high school kids in 7 counties. That is the math that is in play. And that's what our fans have got to wrap our brains around. And I'm going to tell you something. I never realized the reality in play until we went up there and had a chance to talk to people who were in the middle of it. And it has changed the way I look at it.
Oh, what it was is when we went to eat, we passed high school after high
Yeah,
school.
we've seen it
after high
firsthand.
school.
Yep.
And it kind of brings into retrospect. Well, not only that too, but literally every other year a new high school is being
Yes, sir.
built up there.
Or several.
Which also factors into where we're talking about 20 years ago, it was a lot of South Georgia teams playing.
Yep.
Well, we're adding more and more high schools every year. And you're adding more and more population density in the metro Atlanta area.
That's right.
It is a way of just showing the difference between growth, population density. Not to mention that Fulton County geographically is one of the largest counties in the state of Georgia.
Yep.
Ware County is the largest.
And if you do that, it's all just
But
odds.
right.
Odds are not in your favor.
Yeah.
If you're outnumbered 10-1.
Or more.
Yeah, exactly.
It makes 2023 that more special because it's such an anomaly.
Well, you are going to have, in every program in our area, this is going to be the same thing. You're going to have years where there's a convergence of athletes in a particular sport, in basketball or baseball or football or whatever it may be, where you are going to be able to compete.
Yep.
Yeah.
But South Georgia teams consistently winning those state championships and stuff with this type of math in play, it is going to be almost impossible. And
it's going to be tough.
And this is not a Georgia High School Association cannot punish those schools because they happen to be in high density areas.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
I mean,
you can't do, and you can't reward the schools that are not.
Yeah.
I've thought about this and racked my brain and my heart and my soul. I don't know what the answer is, other than I heard somebody make, and this is me now talking. This is not Thomas County Schools. This is me. I heard a discussion about what they were trying to do possibly in Florida, where they have a metro division inside a classification based on population.
that's why they can't compete with the Miami schools.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And some of those.
Yep.
Or Tampa and
Yep.
Orlando. That's where they all come from.
Yep.
I mean,
Well, think of it this
that's
way.
where all the kids are.
Creekside High School.
Not all the kids. I'm sorry. That ain't where all the kids
But
are.
but then again, it's just odds.
Right. It is. It
Yeah.
is.
If you've got, okay.
Again, you got
last year, how many 5-stars were there? 9
on Milton?
or 15? 15 5-stars in the whole country.
Oh, okay.
They was within Texas, Georgia, Florida, and California.
That's it.
That's where they were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, so
Well, again, it goes back to the grocery store. When you got 100 rows of groceries to pick your groceries out from, you can pick what you need
that's right.
and what you want. But sometimes, again, when there's not that many groceries, you got to take what you can get.
That's right.
Now, you're not going to go hungry, but you're not going to be able to set the recipe up exactly the way that you may want it to be. But that's okay. That's okay, because there's more in play than just the rings. And it's so vitally important. I think it changes your appreciation and your perspective for what these programs down here are bringing to the table when you think about it in that light.
On a year in and year out
Yes,
basis.
sir. 1,000%. I will take us being able to go 5 hours from home and have more Thomas County folks in those stands than those home crowds, and the memories that come from that
Every day.
every single day.
Yep.
That's what I wanted to say.
And Earl Brooks, I wish I would have seen the question earlier, but I don't know of any football camps individually coming up. I don't know if Randy.
No, I have not heard. I have not heard.
But don't want to act like you just didn't even ask.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah,
we've been working on this one
since Langston
for
Hughes
2 or 3 weeks.
Well, really
to
talking
figure
about
out
how to frame
how
it.
we would frame it without the GHSA thinking that we're
accusing somebody of something.
trying to get on to them about something.
No.
But I don't know any way that you can fix it.
This is not a Georgia. It is a math issue. As Bryce said, it is just nothing but the odds when the numbers that are in play.
And Mike Bufford said Mitchell Baker.
Oh, okay. There you go, Mike. That's it.
Good job, Mike.
Okay. So that's the discussion as far as that math issues thing is concerned. And if you're a fan of the South Georgia schools, if you're a Thomas County Central fan, appreciate what you got. Appreciate what you got. Don't use the factory schools as your measuring stick of success and failure. If you do that, you're never going to be happy.
It will
never, ever.
And when you have runs to where, like Thomas County Central did in the '90s, and kind of where we are now, and the things that Cairo was able to do in the '90s, the things that it's just crazy how competitive year in and year out we were.
Yep.
And spoiled is big time.
Yep.
But I think we've reached a point, though. There's a tipping point that happened at some point.
Yeah, in the last 15, 20 years.
You're getting out kidded.
Well, and let me say this, and I'm not going to name names, but we have had, and you'll know exactly who I'm talking about. We've had coaches that have come into this area who have tried to bring that factory mindset into play.
Absolutely.
It won't work because these communities still care about those legacy families and the community aspect more than the rings.
Absolutely.
You can't be both. You don't want to be both.
You can't have your son be in the program that his granddaddy, his daddy, his uncles, all of them's played in.
Yep.
And when he gets to be a senior, you move a guy in and say, "Hey, you just not good enough," and you just
we think about a chance of winning because of this guy instead of you.
You just
and you can't do that.
I don't think it'll work down here.
It won't. It's already been proven. It won't.
If you want to create a school like an IMG where you send all the best players to go down in the South, probably do it.
Yep.
It'd probably work because there is no legacy to fulfill.
Yep, that's it. You're not trying to satisfy and take care of the community. There's no community involved. Again,
there's kids that grow up their whole life wanting to be a Yellow Jacket.
Or a Bulldog, or a Syrup Maker, or a Packer.
Or a Wildcat.
That matters.
And them kids, it's so special.
Yep, that matters.
So
and those kids are the ones that are going to come back home and be the community, like y'all. I mean, and like us. I mean, it's the same thing. So anyway, I hope that you understand that this discussion in no way, shape, form, or fashion trying to accuse anybody of anything. That's not the case.
It is what it is.
The numbers in play are what they are, and it is what it is. But appreciate what you got. Just appreciate what you got.
Yep.
Okay, we got some other sports we need to talk about. Let's talk about basketball. If you'll bring that picture up of the girls there. Last Friday, we hosted veterans during basketball halftime. The girls honored Tia Floyd and Visha Giddens for earning over 1,000 points during their high school careers. The signs that you see there are going to stay in the gym to show appreciation for the commitment and dedication to the Yellow Jacket program. And those girls right there were a part of this turnaround that we're seeing with the girls program. And I realize again,
that is a great accomplishment.
Oh my God,
that is unbelievable.
Yeah, that's special. The girls right now are 10 and 13, but as Brian said, really young, super duper young. So the building toward the future, big time. The boys are 14 and 9, having a really good season. They will be both playing at Northside this Friday.
We will have to just look into the region tournament, see how everything plays out. We are right on the boys, are right on the cusp of making a playoff berth. So the region tournament and this Friday will have a lot to play at that. So it'll
Yep.
be interesting to see how it all plays out.
And again, like the baseball coach
Chris
said, it ain't like we play in an easy region. I mean,
Right.
we all having to play in this
Yeah.
region that's unbelievable.
Yep.
So, we there's some good basketball schools in that region, and as Coach Si said, Lee County be good in baseball, and
Yeah.
Houston will be good in baseball.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yep.
Coffee will be good in baseball.
Yep. Yep. And Central
So,
should be pretty doggone good.
absolutely. I think
Yeah.
we'll be real competitive.
And veterans is normally pretty doggone good too.
Yep.
Now.
Yeah.
Wrestling. Let's talk about Coach Matt Tanner's guys. Congratulations to the wrestling teams at the sectional qualifiers. If you'll bring that picture up of the wrestlers there.
There we go.
Boys team region runner-up sending 10 to sectionals next week. Girls sending 2. And I think the sectionals actually were this week. But
They were. They go and wrestle on. The boys leave Friday. No, so they'll practice here on Thursday. Boys will leave Thursday night, and then girls will leave Friday morning.
okay. And Friday competition to I guess weekend.
Friday through the weekend, I
Okay.
would assume.
So let's go back
That's
to
awesome.
let's go back to the boys picture real quick. And congratulations to these young ladies there. They're part of the first girls wrestling program or series for our team, our school. But Marcus Peak, region champion. Ian O'Neill, second place. Damon Sylvia, second place. Carson Curry, third. Wade Clark, fourth. Dean Rollins, second. Malachi Gaskins, fourth. Kadrian Suki, first. Rylan Woodall, fifth. Charlie Emmett, fourth. Onyx Lucent, third. Devin Bryan, fifth. Rylan and Devin are both alternates. And I think, here's the graphic for our region champions.
And
it's Marcus
Coach
Peak.
Tanner has commented, Coach, anytime you want to call, you're welcome to
I'll
call
get you
in.
to call whenever we
But,
when we do this in 2 weeks, Coach, and that way we can do a wrap up and
You
catch
go ahead
everybody up.
and-
Go ahead, Casey.
Casey, tell them what Coach Tanner said on there.
That they will, for what?
Girls wrestle Friday, boys wrestle Saturday.
Something like that.
There you
Through
go.
the whole weekend.
Yeah.
I got you.
I just know they're leaving because they're practicing Thursday and Friday because we got an event happening in the gym and having to work out everything.
I tell you what,
Uh,
Coach Tanner does such a fantastic
yeah.
job, and
Oh, yeah.
I'm just so proud because I think Coach Wilhelm did a really, really good
Mhm.
job of establishing that and kind of setting the bar. And Coach Tanner has just kept that standard of excellence up. I mean,
Absolutely.
fantastic.
It hadn't dropped off any.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
we just still churning right along.
Yep. Thank you, Coach Tanner, for your work, man.
Absolutely.
Good guy right there. Tennis started today, and then soccer starts next week.
So girls
Uh,
middle school started today.
Yeah,
They had
somebody posted that they
so
won.
Jake,
Jake
said
did.
they won
9 to
nothing.
9-0 against
Yeah.
Valdosta. They just had the blue and gold game yesterday.
That's right.
Something like that.
Yeah, they had something. So the blue and gold was yesterday. So they'll start
Now,
next week.
is it,
So
I think this group of girls
Oh yeah,
is.
Dude, they're
supposed to be
sporty.
pretty
yeah.
sporty.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
So
They were really good last year and didn't lose hardly a
Absolutely.
daggone
I'm gonna
thing.
say I don't lose
Yep.
anybody.
it's
are
going to be
they?
exciting to watch.
Look at
Somebody's
Brian
trying to
kicking
kick
it.
some
over
Easy
there.
there.
Taking it out.
My feet have been in place.
Kick it one more time. You didn't get it good enough. Go back for
Yeah,
seconds.
just stomp on that keyboard. I want to do a real quick thing, and I want to show this. Chris White, who takes care of our social media stuff, has put together a video that kind of pays homage to the tradition of our football program that was put on social media here a week or so ago. And I love this thing. Of course,
And I want to comment on
Chris,
it too.
Chris learned from. He should have learned from somebody better, but just saying, he's good.
Okay, Justin just said soccer plays tomorrow at Irwin.
Okay, cool.
I want to comment on Chris also.
Sure.
Our social media level is on a different
Yeah.
playing field
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
We always, I thought we had always liked it that over the years
Well, there was just
with
Yeah.
with as
Online.
far as branding your
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was
Talking
no-
about now,
they're
talking about.
branding the teams.
Mhm.
That we are on the top of that.
Yeah.
The only-
Chris has done a
and it's
phenomenal
so
job.
hard to keep posting knowledgeable stuff that is not
Mhm.
duplicated.
Absolutely.
Is that the right term?
Yeah, absolutely.
To keep
It's not
everything
been done
interesting.
before,
Yeah.
Keep it fresh.
Yeah, because it's easy to just post the same, just the same thing once a week, but it's always something different and intriguing you look at. Even even just like a simple graphic of of all the colleges that come and visit.
Absolutely.
It's awesome to even put a visual
Now,
to
the
it.
only issue I have with that graphic is he put Alabama before Auburn. I'm pretty sure Justin would agree with me. Auburn needs to be in the front. Just saying.
Yeah.
Well, I thought Florida State.
Well, Georgia was right
Florida
there.
State was perfect spot.
But this video is very impressive. And for those of you who have not seen it, this will take you back a little bit, but it'll also bring you up to the current day. And take a moment and watch this. I think you'll like it.
From the heart of South Georgia, this is Thomas County, where Friday nights are more than a tradition, they're a legacy. The Thomas County Central Yellow Jackets have built a program on grit, determination, and excellence. With 6 state championships and countless playoff appearances, the Yellow Jackets have left an indelible mark on Georgia high school football. Legends have worn the blue and gold, paving the way for the next generation. Our history is rich, but we're not resting on the past. We're focused on the here, now, and beyond. Powered by relentless dedication, emerging talent, and a community that rallies behind us. This is more than a game. It's a family, a tradition, and a promise to never stop striving for greatness.
They ain't never battle with you. They don't know what that fourth quarter of you looks like. Get them in that fourth, dig them in that deep water, and go out there and take this freaking game.
Central Football, where the elite become champions.
That's good stuff. That's good stuff. And I love the fact that you've got so much of the old blended with the new. And again, Chris, tip of the cap. My man, good job as always.
I love the statement of get them to that deep water.
Yep. Good stuff.
Make my hair stand up.
Guys, it is 8:15. What are we doing?
And we ain't even started.
You guys got
just
anything?
Touched on several things.
Well, and I was going to say, Bryce, we normally do scholarship offers. We don't have enough time.
I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you. There is no way. I just seen it all start, and I'm like, I wrote the first few down, jotted them down. I'm like, there's no way.
Well, I tell you what.
There's no way.
When we have our next one, we'll have a good list of what all's happened.
Now it's a little helpful now because we've got multiple kids that have some online profiles where you can check and keep updated on their timeline and stuff like that with 247 and Rivals and
I wouldn't mind having
websites.
I wouldn't mind picking Coach Atkins's brain a little bit about how he handles that.
I tell you what,
and he has a great social media influx as well. I'm gonna tell you, he is consistent as it gets on
that. That is very important.
What you have to have.
I'll get him to come on and talk to us on that next one. And before we get out of here, Casey, bring the schedule up because the schedule for next year's been released.
I want this picture.
I'll send it to you.
Jalen, man.
Oh yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah, that's your schedule, and all of the ones in dark are home games. So there's 4 away games, 6 home games. Heck of a home schedule now.
Absolutely.
You got Monroe, Lee County, Florida High, Thomasville, Northside, and Houston. Woo. That's pretty sporty.
Look, no back-to-back weeks.
No,
going out of town.
No, that's I love the fact. I think was it you that said I love the fact we're not on I-75 traveling 13 times in the year.
Well, we got such interesting opportunities for really good games this year with coaching changes and everything else that's going on.
Yep.
let's not forget, we got to play Coach Boone again this year.
Yep.
Mhm.
You know?
Yeah.
Guess what?
And guess what? We're going to get to see Steve Dvorsny again at
Yep.
Veterans. And him and Coach Rogers have a huge past and really, really good friends.
Yep.
Somebody shared with me that 5 of the 6 coaches in this region now have won state championships.
I believe it.
That's show me another region that can say that.
Mhm.
Anywhere. I've never heard anything like that.
That's
But
impressive.
yeah,
That's
that's a
impressive.
great schedule and going to be very impressive. And a lot of excitement, but a lot of work to be done.
Yep.
And can't take anything for granted. Just keep moving and working and getting better and better.
Yep.
Thank y'all. Hey, and again, thanks to Dairy Queen.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. Greg Davis.
Greg Davis with the Curl Crew. And hey, don't be slipping now. You need to get that special one, a Cupid cake.
The Cupid cake.
Yeah,
and
Brian's
the
gonna get
Cupid
me
shuffle
one.
with a Cupid
thank you.
cake. How about that?
What was that? What was
Little
it?
Cupid shuffle with the Cupid cake.
Hey, to the left, to the left, to the right, to the right.
That's what the weight's going to do on me.
What,
Just
swap?
turn. Just get some momentum going.
Dip, baby.
That's it. That's it. That's it.
Brian told me he was going to have this as his wedding cake.
No, it
Cupid
is not
cake.
going to be a wedding cake. No.
What you got?
Kenneth Hurst is asking if there's any update on Sam Brown. That is a complicated question.
I just say TBD.
Yeah, there
Nothing established for sure. Yet.
not yet, but there may be news coming.
Yeah.
So just put
But he
that.
did do the walk-on thing and all.
Kinda.
Yeah.
That's the best way
It's
to
a
put it.
deep story.
Okay.
There were some technicalities involved, and now
Okay.
there may be some recircling of the wagons.
Okay, cool.
as the best term to use there.
Okay.
And in a good way. In a good
Yeah.
way. In a
very
very
good
good way.
I think it's going to wind up pretty good for him. I think.
It'll wind up better for us. Too.
Yeah, no doubt.
Just saying. But hey, listen. All right, now so y'all, we will do this again, not next Thursday, but the following Thursday. Every other week now on Thursday evenings, we'll be back here, and we will be checking in with our coaches. I'll try to get Coach Atkins on here in 2 weeks. We'll have Coach Jones, of course, to update us with baseball, and of course Coach Rogers to fill us in on what's going on football wise. And we'll talk to Coach Tanner about what's going on with wrestling and the tournament. Heck, the next one, heck, we'll just have nothing but phone calls, which is fine. Heck, let's
Hey,
just
I
get
love
the
it.
coaches on here.
That's good info.
Yep, absolutely.
And Whit, you're right. We don't play on the county. We don't play on the bypass.
Well, it is just so. I'm just so thankful that y'all and the younger folks. I mean, us long in the tooth folks, and I'm not kidding. The 90s were very special. But given the circumstances that are in play here right now with what's going on with us having to play up in 6A instead of playing in 4A, which is where we are number-wise,
Yeah.
to see what is happening, this is remarkable. I mean, it really is. It's remarkable. And that goes back to that thing I was saying a while ago. Don't take this for granted. Don't take this for granted. And don't use somebody else as a measuring stick. The measuring stick is right here. The measuring stick's right here. It's not going to get any better than this. And I could say the same thing for Cairo and Bainbridge and Colquitt and Valdosta.
Absolutely.
You've got something special that those factory schools will never, by the nature of what they are, they can't have it. They won't have it. And that's something to be celebrated.
Half of them ain't been there long enough to have it.
Yep. Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right. Folks, hey, Bryce, thank you. As
Yes,
always.
sir.
Brian.
Was that a bow or what?
I think so. Well, the next time
Don't
we
do
do
a
this, now
curtsy.
you're about getting married,
Yeah.
Yeah.
He'll be hitched up.
betrothed.
Ooh. Yeah,
To the
that's kinda
wax.
So
fast.
where you going on the honeymoon, dude?
We're doing a 7-day cruise.
From Meg's down to
We're hitting Oclotney.
yeah, starting up here at the bridge.
And then
Go to
working-
the goal.
We're working our way down to Sock Chopping.
Be
Sock
down
chopping.
in
Yeah.
Talcum on a couple days.
That's right. That's right.
Till they open the dam and
Then you
and
go
then we're
through.
gonna go
Yeah,
through.
yeah.
He's even going to let me go with him.
Yeah, that's right.
end up in Apalachicola.
Rice is going to pick us up and Sock Choppy, take us the rest of the way out to the bay.
Absolutely.
Chris White said, I just walked in. What a miss. Doggone you hide.
Watch it in a minute. It'll be.
Yeah, you missed us complimenting your rear end and everything else too. Guys, hey,
Whoa.
Jamie, thank you. Ryan, just stop. Here we go. Here we go. Ryan, you good?
I got to drive to Tallahassee, so I'll see y'all later.
Casey, as always,
Thank
thank
you.
you. Hey, go Jackets. We'll see you in 2 weeks on a Thursday night. Until then, for the crew, see you. Bye.